Hey guys, so we're going to continue making videos here today, and we're going to make a video today about the dash on this car. I want to see if I can clean up the instrument cluster. So I've got some pieces out of the dash. This is the instrument cluster, and I don't know what I can do with it, but as you can see, it's got like chunks of mud in it. You can see right there, there's chunks of mud floating around in there. So I'm going to take it apart and see if I can get it cleaned up, see if we can make it look a little better, hopefully. Put it back in the car, but you can see it's all muddy and dirty from the car being flooded. So I got to take it apart. Before we do that, we'll clean up these other parts that are really nasty looking. So let's get those cleaned up first, and then we'll work on the instrument cluster. Get you guys over here where you can kind of see what's going on. There we go. Alright, so we're in this little condo in the Prime World District, like we mentioned before. So I'm going to use the sink here, and I got a little sponge, so I think I'm going to start out with that. Got to get these dash pieces cleaned up. Some dish soap. Got to get this mud off of here. I don't know how good this is going to do because it's kind of rough, but I got a brush back here too I can use, so we'll also get that out here in a second after I get done with this. Just trying to make this car look a little better. This dash is one of basically the last pieces. If you guys have seen the other videos on here, you've seen how we took it to the car wash and used laundry soap on the seats and scrubbed it with the brush and scrubbed the carpet. The car smells a lot better now. It was really smelled pretty bad and muddy before, but I've got quite a bit of the mud out of there now. The only thing I haven't done yet, I haven't taken the door panels off and tried to clean inside the doors. And I'm not sure if I'm going to or not, but if I do, we'll make a video of that. I'm not sure how much further I want to go with this car because I basically just bought it to see if I could be successful at making it run, and I have. So now I'm just trying to get it to where it looks decent, because eventually I'm going to sell it, of course. I don't need a car in the Philippines, but I should be able to get some halfway decent money out of it now that it runs and drives. So I definitely should be able to make my money back. And we'll see how that goes down the road. But right now, I just got to clean this stuff up and try to make it look better than it does, because it's just covered in mud and river dirt and everything else. So anyhow, start off with this Beazle, make it look a little better. Making a mess here. I'm going to get water on the floor everywhere probably, but I'll have to clean that up later. There we go. That's looking a lot better. There's still a little dirt on it right there. That mud, it sticks really good. You got to really scrub to get it off, that's for sure. Doesn't want to come off easily. So you got to keep scrubbing it until you get it out of all the crevices and cracks and everywhere else, because it's difficult. So, be interesting to get this instrument cluster apart, see what we can do with it, because I don't know how good it's going to turn out. I don't know. But we'll try it. I figured it'd be an interesting video for you guys to watch. We'll put that back there and let it drain. And these are the pieces that go around the steering column. I took those off because I had to work on the ignition switch on the ignition lock, I should say, on the car. Get it working better. This car's had some modifications done to it already before I even bought it, and whoever did them didn't do a very good job. I've been trying to fix the gremlins, chasing gremlins on the car. It runs okay for a while, but then it starts cutting out. It's died several times. It didn't want to start, and I'll talk about that in another video down the road. But it's been giving me a little bit of problems, but I think I've got it fixed, but I say that and then it does it again, so I'm not sure, but I'm hoping that pretty soon I'll have that problem taken care of. So I've been replacing relays on it because the relays all got flooded, and some of them, when I took them apart, they were rusted inside, and I figured they probably weren't working very well since they were rusted, so I just bought new ones. And whoever did the work on it before, they didn't really do a very good job, so it was kind of had some issues stemming from that as well. But like I said, again, I'll talk about that at a later date. I'm not going to worry about that now. I'm just trying to get this dash, these final pieces that go inside the car, we'll get them cleaned up and put back on the car. We're getting ready to leave. We're got to go over to her home island. That thing there's full of mud. I don't know how much of that I'm going to get out of there, but we'll try. May have to take that to the car wash and try to clean it. I don't know. It's pretty bad. The problem is it's hard to get down in these little crevices on this thing where all the mud's at. So I just do the best I can. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm trying to get all the mud out of there I can. I don't have to deal with that anymore. But we'll see how it turns out when we're done. Iris is back there cleaning the apartment, doing some sweeping and mopping. Been very hot here lately. The car doesn't seem to like the heat very much, but I'm not sure if it's something to do with the car. I think I did some research online, and I think there's a pretty big problem, and you guys live in the Philippines, you can tell me if I'm right or not, but I think there's a pretty big problem here with low quality gasoline at the gas stations, especially the ones maybe the not so popular ones, not so common ones. You know, so I think I may have gotten a hold of some bad gas because the car acts like it wants to run fine, and then it doesn't want to run, and then it does, and then it doesn't. So I don't really feel like it's something that's to do with something going on with the car itself. I think it's probably got, and since it was flooded, I don't know if there's anything in the gas tank, any water. The gas tank is sealed. The gas cap was sealed on the tank, and you guys saw the first time I started it, I had not put any fresh gas in it. I wanted to see if it would start off the gas that was in the tank, and of course the first time we tried to start it, it did start and run. So I don't think there's water in the tank, but there might be a little bit. But I put another 8 liters of fresh gas in it today. I ran some fuel injector cleaner through it that I found at a local parts store, and I'm going to run some more fuel injector cleaner through it. But it just acts like it's just like that kind of a problem, because it'll run fine and then it'll start cutting out and run really bad and die on us, and then it'll clear up and run fine again. So I'm not sure what's going on with it, but we're trying to figure it out as we go. So, but anyhow, there we go. That's looking pretty good. It's probably not perfect. There's some little places down in there that's hard to get to. So I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, this goes on the column, and this is the inside of it anyhow. You can't see it. I just don't want a bunch of mud flaking off onto the floorboards. So just trying to get it cleaned out as best I can. But it's probably not perfect, but that's pretty good. Looks way better than it did. It was full of mud when I started, so because this is the bottom part, so of course the water sat in there. and flooded it out, filled it up with mud. So we're gonna shove that back there now. Let me kind of clean things up here a little bit because I got a bit of a mess here. I'll clean up here and kind of get all the mud and slop that I've spread out everywhere. We'll get it picked up. And then we'll start on this instrument cluster. See what we can do with it. I don't know. Get that out of my way. The water drains better. There we go. All right. Got a mess in front of the sink here. Okay. All right. There we go. Now we got to get this dirty instrument cluster in here and try to do something with it. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, so now let's try to get this this dash or this instrument cluster apart. I'm not sure how it comes apart. I thought maybe the plastic lens would come off of there in one piece, but I don't really see a way to get it off. I don't know for sure. I think maybe the plastic, the black plastic and the clear plastic are probably the same piece. I see these tabs here. Let's try to pop those out. Need another knife. Oh, come on. It's not easy to do. There we go. There we go. All right, we got that side out. That side there's not moving. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. One more over here. Okay. Wow. So we got these out. Here's what the gauges look like. They look pretty bad. I may have to get some tools to disassemble this. I probably will. But you can see, like, right in there.
I have mine.
All right, so we got this big chunk of mud there. It's stuck in there. You can see that chunk's coming out. I probably ought to do that in the sink, huh? So anyhow, take that off. Got the bulbs in there. This is going to be a bit of a challenge to get this thing cleaned up. I'm gonna have to get a Phillips screwdriver to take these gauges out because they're not going to come out on their own. Another panel there. That one is airbag light. Seat belt, battery, and oil pressure. And this one over here says hold, whatever that means, ABS, which I'm sure doesn't work on this car, gas, fuel, low, and then check engine light. Okay. All right, so I'm really hoping that this comes apart a little more, because it's going to be pretty difficult to get in here and clean this if I can't get these two pieces separated. I'm not sure if I can or I can't. It looks to me like they're actually glued together. I think they probably are. That's gonna suck. Well, I'm not sure. I'm trying to push on it, see if it. I don't want to break it. I don't know what to do here, because I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think those come apart. That's not good. That's going to be very difficult to try to clean that. Wow. Okay, well, let's try to clean it up and see what we can do with it. I don't know. Definitely a big mess. See how much luck we have with it. Sorry, I'm trying to move the camera a little bit here. There we go. Alright. Now, see how much of this mud we can get out of there. I don't know. Use this sponge again. I'm sure we'll end up using the brush too. Shove the sponge in there and try to get in the corners as much as I can. Trying to shove it up in this corner as far as I can get it, try to get the mud out of there if I can. Now I'll rinse it off and see what it looks like. I don't know how good it's going to be, but we'll see. This is only part of it. I wish I had like well, I got a sprayer, but not in the sink here. If I had a sprayer, I could spray this and it'd be a little easier to do, but fortunately I don't have one, so. This is what you got to deal with when you buy a car that was completely submerged in floodwater. Because everything in the whole car is submerged in dirty water, so you got to deal with how you're going to clean everything. And it's a pain in the butt. I've actually never done this before in my life. I've never bought a flooded car, but you know, I'm here in the Philippines. Cars are expensive here actually, but like I said in one of my beginning videos, I only paid $250, 15,000 pesos is what I paid for this car. So I don't have a ton of money invested in it, and it does run and drive. I just got to try to clean it up the best I can. Ah, there we go. That came out. That's good. I thought that might come out. Get that cleaned up. Oh boy, I got mud all over this stuff that I just cleaned. My brush is splattering mud everywhere. Alright. I don't think it's going to come apart any more than that. I got some mud like in the corners here. You guys can see that. There's some mud there behind the plastic, but you won't be able to see that when it's assembled, so it's not like the end of the world. It does look better than it did, that's for sure, when we started. I can try to get this sponge to go in there, and maybe the soap will get in there and break up some of that dirt. I don't know. We'll see. Try to get it out of there. It's definitely not easy. Rinse it out again, see what it looks like. A little more water pressure going here. Alright, yeah, that looks a little better. Some of that soap broke up that mud. There's still a little bit in this corner. But the other corner looks better. I'll get that soap in there to break that dirt up if I can. Okay. Well, I think that's about as good as we're going to get that. It looks a lot better than it did. Oh, there's dirt up at the top too, I see. Up in this area up here. Try to get this to go up in there as far as I can get it. Just got to keep looking for the dirt and getting the soap in there where the dirt's at. Get it cleaned up best you can. It's definitely not a project you want to take on if you're not willing to go the extra mile. And of course, you gotta be a pretty decent mechanic, because you gotta figure out what's going on if you got problems, which I've had problems with this car. I wish that clear plastic would come off there, because I could really clean up all of this if that would come off. Dadgummit. That really sucks that it won't come off. It really sucks that they glued that in there. It's too bad they couldn't have just used clips to put it in with. But well, it is what it is. I mean, it definitely looks better than it did, so I can't complain. What do you guys think? Think that looks better? See it? I don't know how well you can see it, but I think it looks a lot better. I'll take some wax later on and I'll clean that up with wax too. These little plastic pieces here. Those are easy to clean. Okay, now this thing here, I'm going to start with it on the outside, and then we're probably going to have to disassemble it quite a bit to get it cleaned up, but we'll start with the outside here to slow the water down. Got splashing water everywhere. The problem with this is I can't get behind the instruments to get the mud that's back behind them out. So that's going to be a challenge. I don't know how I'm going to do it without taking it apart. Alright, I want to very gently use this sponge to. You got to be careful with the needles. You don't want to bend them or break them. Very carefully going around those and cleaning around them. You don't want to push them past their high and low limits either, so you got to be careful with that. I know when I had the car running before, when I finally got it running, the temperature gauge and the speedometer was bouncing all around at first, but then it calmed down and started working what seemed to be pretty normally. But I don't know if it's actually normal or not, because I haven't really driven the car far enough to know whether it's working correctly or not. But I'm just putting some soapy water in here. Try clean this out as best I can. I don't know. And yes, there's electronics in here, but they've also been submerged in water once before, so me putting more water in here is not going to hurt a thing because they've already been submerged in water. So it isn't really going to matter that they're getting more water put on them. Right, give me some more water pressure here to try to break up this mud and dirt that's inside there, if possible. I don't have to get every speck of dirt out of this instrument cluster, you know. Actually, I got an idea here I might try. There's still, you can see that there's still like quite a bit of mud like in there, muddy areas, and that's going to be a little tough to clean without. I'll stick my finger in there, work some of that soap around in there. Try to get that cleaned out as best I can. Just use my fingers. Got another idea that might work. We'll try it here in a minute. I'll get done doing this. I don't want to really use that brush because I don't want the brush to hit the instruments and damage them. So I'm a little nervous about using the brush on this thing. But I can get my finger in there and work it around. Try to get some of that mud out of there. Alright. The odometer, I don't know how it's going to look as it turns because I can't reach all of it, so I'm not sure if it's going to clean up or not. We'll see. But I never could get the fuel gauge to work, at least before. But one thing I have noticed with this car is that it seems like every time we drive it, stuff works that didn't work before. So maybe we'll get lucky and the stuff will wake back up and start working again. I don't know. It's not the end of the world. You know, it'd be nice to have a gas gauge, but if I don't have one, then I don't have one. Not much I can do about it. I did take the fuel pump out of the gas tank because it's really easy to get out. There's an access panel in the floor pan, and you can take the gas tank out, or the gas fuel pump and sending unit out really easily. And the fuel pump actually looks to me like it's almost brand new. It looks like it's been replaced at some point in its life. So it's in really good shape. So I'm not sure if there's a problem with the wiring harness or this fuel gauge is bad because it was underwater. I'm not sure what's going on with it, but anyhow. All right, I am going to take on this side here and put a little soap on it and take this brush because it's, oh dang it, it's not going to hurt anything to brush this. It's already been submerged in water and all dirty and muddy, so I figure this brush is the easiest way to clean that up. And there's some more dirt in here that I can work on getting out too while I'm doing that. These little cracks and crevices. All right. There we go. All right, now there's still dirt down in there. I'll show you guys. You can see right down in there, you can see some mud down in there, and in there you can see some mud behind the instrument cluster, or behind the speedometer there, there's mud. You know, it's not perfect in there where the lights are. You can see some mud in there, but I want to try something here. I don't know if this is going to work or not. But let's turn this water off. And of course, if you're in the Philippines, everywhere you go, well, not everywhere you go, but ooh, dadgummit. Sorry guys, hold on, I'm coming. Okay, everywhere you go, or most places you go, when you're in the CR, the comfort room they call it, there's always, or most of the time, there's a sprayer to spray your bum off when you poop, because they don't believe in toilet paper in the Philippines. So a lot of places they don't have toilet paper, but they do have a sprayer, and this sprayer here wasn't working very well, but I took it apart. It's actually got quite a bit of pressure. So let's spray it off, and we will put some pressure in here, and we'll see if that pressure will have any luck at removing some of this mud that's in the cracks and crevices of this thing. Well, I can see mud in the bottom of the toilet, so Definitely doing something in there. Alright, let's turn it around and go the other way. Making a bit of a mess on the floor, but we got mops to mop the floor with when I'm done. No big deal there. Okay. Now let's take a look at it and see how it looks. Oh yeah. There you go. What do you guys think of that? All that mud down there is gone now. And there's, you know, there's probably a few spots where there's going to be some mud. I need to spray out these, the odometer area, the trip odometer and the mileage odometer. Spray them out really good to try to get any mud that's stuck behind them out. Instrument cluster area. Spray that out. Any mud that's stuck behind that. I'll get that cleaned up. Alright, there we go. Now that I made a mess on the floor of water, there you go. What do you guys think? I think that looks really actually very, very good. I think I'm going to be happy with that. I really didn't want to have to take this apart because it's sensitive equipment, so I really don't want to mess with it, but now I gotta let this thing sit. I'll probably put it outside because it's warm out today. It's like 90 degrees. I'll set this outside and let it sit and dry for a little while before I put it back in the car. Hopefully it'll dry out enough that everything will work, and we'll see. So anyhow, so again, I got water all over the floor, but I got a mop right there in the corner. I can mop it up, no big deal. All right, guys, so that's 30 minutes of me cleaning up the instrument cluster and the bezels that go. They'll so that's the video of me cleaning up the instrument cluster. My camera stopped and started again, so I'm not sure where it ended, but there's the instrument cluster. You can see how good it looks now. All that mud is pretty much gone out of there. I mean, there might be a little bit of residual stuff in there, but there's big chunks of it that was inside of it when I took it apart. And we got all the bezels and dash pieces, steering column pieces cleaned up. And there's the instrument lens. So I'll put this stuff outside and let it dry. This thing here, I'll probably try to clean it off a little more. I bought some car wax. I might put car wax on that and try to get it to clean up the lens to look a little better. So anyhow, guys, so that's one more thing we're doing to this car, just trying to clean it up, make it work. Now, I don't know how well this stuff's going to work because now it's wet again, but we'll let it dry for overnight, and tomorrow I'll put it outside and let it dry more, and when the weather's nice, and we'll put it back in the car and see what happens. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching. Hope you're enjoying this so far. The car's running. It's not running great, but I think it's getting better. I'll go over kind of a video of what I've done to it on the inside. I'll show you the inside. We're actually going to take it tomorrow. I'm hoping the weather's going to be nice. We're going to take it back to the place we took it to before, where it got waxed and polished. I bought my own polish because they don't use very much there. So I'm going to take it back there and ask them to use my polish and put a lot of polish on it and try to make it look even better. I'll show you what the interior looks like now. We've got it back together. The car's looking way better. And hopefully I did some work on it today. I'll show you guys what I did. Added some stuff to it to make it go down the road a little better. And we're going to continue working on it, trying to make it look nicer as we go. So appreciate you guys watching. All right, we'll talk to you all later. Bye.